Hi there, fellas and felnuts. This is going to be our next area that we're going to work on, switching from this St. Augustine and weed to Bermuda grass. So I've played around with trying to kill off the weeds in the backyard and had varying amounts of success. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go at this mechanically prior to going at it chemically. So what I mean by saying that is, first thing I'm going to do is scalp this down as low as my mower will cut it, and then we're going to build a nail drag, and we're going to drag all this up and try and get all the roots and crap out of the ground. And then over the next week, according to current forecasts, we're going to get 5 inches of rain. So if that happens, we'll have a really good idea of what's still out here that needs to be killed. So that's what I'm going to start with right now. Is I'm going to go ahead and scalp this, and then we'll start building that nail drag, and we'll drag this whole area over and over and over again. Hopefully we'll be left with mostly bare dirt, and then we can address the chemical side of it next week. So I'm going to do this side and that side of the front yard all at once, just because I think it'll be fairly easy. We've got the sprinkler system up and running again, so I think that we can handle both sides at one time. The reason this is all so dead looking right now is because we have not had any substantial rain here since November, probably. So we're in desperate need of rain, which is wonderful that we're getting rain next week, but we're supposed to get 5 inches of rain, so it's going to kind of shock everything. But it'll be good. So yeah, I'm going to start out scalping this down, and then we'll build that nail drag. I'll show you how that goes. Alright guys, so I've got everything hooked up to the tractor. I've just got this tied through there's a tow hitch down here, and then I've got my excess tied up here so it doesn't drag on the ground. So yeah, ideally you'd have a carabiner or something to hook the end of this rope up, but I don't, so we're just going to try this, see what happens, and hopefully we'll have good results. But y'all find out. This is bouncing around a little more than what I wanted to, but I think that's just a result of being lots of roots and stuff. I think that as we break stuff up, it'll start riding better. Alright, so y'all get the gist of it. You see we're pulling up a good bit of thatch over here. Not thatch, it's the stolons and rhizomes from the St. Augustine grass. So I'm going to try and shorten that rope up a little bit. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to go over it a ton of times. And then once we get to a point where it looks a little different, I'll bring you guys back and show you what it looks like. All right, guys. Well, my rope that I had tying my drag to the tractor ended up breaking. So I'm going to go tomorrow and get a carabiner or something so that I can attach it better and it won't break. It just wore through from the metal on there. But as y'all can see, we've torn up a bunch of this stuff. It's actually, we got mostly dirt out here now. I think when we rain, a lot of this stuff that's just sitting on top is going to wash away too. Tomorrow is our lowest chance of rain for the next week though. So that's what I'm going to try and get the carabiner, get the rest of this done, and get the other side of the yard done as well. But yeah, it's working pretty good. It's a little slower than I was expecting. It's kind of jumping around. I think I could probably throw some cinder blocks or something on there to help keep it from bouncing up in the air, but it's working just fine as it is. There's no reason to change it. Just spend a little time, take a little time, exercise that patience muscle, and we'll have a nice surface ready for seeding here shortly. All right, guys, so it's time to start killing this stuff off up here. So we're using glyphosate to kill the grass, using our surfactant to make sure everything sticks like it should. And then I'm also going to try this stuff out. It's called laser. All it is a dye that helps you see where you sprayed. So this stuff, I think it's a ½ ounce per gallon. So we'll put 2 ounces of that in. This, we're going to go 3 ounces per gallon. And this stuff is 1 teaspoon per 1 gallon, which I think is about 1 ounce. I'll look that up before I. 8 ounces yields 25 gallons, so that's about a third of an ounce per gallon. So we'll go a little over 3 ounces in 4 gallons here. I've got this filled up to about right here, which is just under the 4 gallon mark. So we'll put all our liquids in here. We'll fill it up the rest of the way, give it a good shake. The other thing that I've done is switch to a T-Jet air induction nozzle. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully to help get us a little bit better spray pattern than what I was using before. But let's go ahead and get this started. So this glyphosate should kill everything out here in about a week. That being said, I don't intend to even start pre-germinating until our baby arrives. So as things pop up, we're going to spot spray them. And make sure everything's good and dead here. So I'm going to finish filling this up and then we'll give it a shake and we'll start spraying. And then I'm going to put some boots on so I don't get this on my feet and move you guys down there and we'll start spraying. I do like this the spray pattern from this T-Jet a lot better than the other one. The droplets are big enough that I'm not having them all just go off in the air. Alright, so I got the same mixture. Only difference is I went with 3 ounces of the marking dye instead of 2. Hopefully give me a little bit better visual. But if not, it's okay. I could kind of see what I was doing anyways. Alright, so this area right here is all common Bermuda. And Bermuda is not easy to kill, so that's why I went with the higher rate of 3 ounces per per thousand on the glyphosate to try and get all this stuff eradicated. Again, I'm probably going to have to spot treat some of this stuff, um, but glyphosate should do a good job taking most of it out. Go ahead and run along the yard line here. That way I don't have to get close to the neighbors. Sometimes I get asked why I don't trust the government. This is sod that they installed when they put this box in. I don't think this stuff's going to come back to life, even if I wasn't spraying it with glyphosate. So that's your government at work. The 3 ounces per gallon is giving me a much better visual of what's been sprayed. I went ahead and drew a line around the mower. I'll spray up through the mower, and then when I can get gas later, I'll come back, move the mower, and spray that last little bit. Still got this area over here, basically this spot right here, that I'm gonna have to spray, but I need gas for the lawnmower before I can do that. So I've got enough left in the tank to spray this. So once I get some gas a little bit later on today, I'll come back and spray this area, and then we'll have to just hurry up and wait. I think Roundup typically takes, this isn't Roundup, it's glyphosate. It doesn't have one of the active ingredients in it, which is 2,4-D, which if you have pets, 2,4-D is a common weed killer, common ingredient weed killer. It's known to cause leukemia in dogs. Glyphosate does not. Roundup got a bad name because they use both products at once. Glyphosate is the more potent active ingredient, and it does not cause leukemia in humans or dogs. You can look at the World Health Organization website, a bunch of stuff like that, read actual studies where they've tested it on animals. It's inert to animals. It's inert as soon as it's dry. In fact, most of your dog foods that have soybeans or corn in them have Roundup Ready soybeans and corn that go into those products, which have been sprayed with glyphosate their entire lives. So, glyphosate is not the bad chemical in Roundup. The bad chemical in Roundup is 2,4-D. Don't use 2,4-D products if you have pets. So that's it for now. We'll catch back up with you once I get some gas. So I have named this my redneck rototiller. So what I did was took a Harbor Freight tiller and mounted it on the front of the walker here. I have no idea if this is going to work, and so I haven't done anything destructive to the rototiller yet. If it works how I think it's going to work, I'm going to cut this bar off and mount the handle onto the throttle, I guess, on the walker. That way I can control the throttle as I'm driving. But the first thing is going to be just testing and seeing if it works. So I put some gas in this thing, get it fired up, and see if it'll do anything. And this is going to be the last step of prep out here before we seed. So I've killed this with glyphosate 4 times now, I think. There's still a couple green spots that you see out here, right there, and then down over here. But that got sprayed yesterday, so that should die. And I'm fairly confident that because of the amount of rain that we've gotten, anything that's out here would have popped up by now. So this side is ready, the other side of the driveway is ready. So I'm going to till it up, and then I'll use a nail drag and drag it all in, get it all nice and smoothed out, and then we will start the pre-germination process once the ground is prepped. So like I said, first thing I'm going to do is fill this thing up with some gas and get it fired up, see if it'll work. So I don't use mixed fuel very often, so I bought this True Fuel stuff. If you use mixed fuel often, mix your own because this crap's expensive. I can't even get the freaking thing open. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a balancing act. All right, so this is actually doing better than kind of what I expected. So I'm gonna get the grinder out, cut this off so I can attach it onto my throttle here and control it that way. So let me get the grinder, cut this off, and I'll bring you guys back here in just a second. So what I'm gonna do is cut, like I said, this handle off here and somewhere in here. It's a cheap rototiller. I'm not going to use it again for anything else, and even if I do, that doesn't destroy the functionality of it because I can just bolt it back on. And then we're going to use a U-bolt and clamp it on the throttle. If you're using a cutoff wheel, especially this type, wear some freaking safety glasses. These things will shatter. You don't want your eye to be on the receiving end of when they shatter. So wear some safety glasses. I'm not the PPE guy, but I will wear safety glasses when I'm doing this, because I like my eyeballs. I may have to mount this on here actually, because of length constraints. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mount this right here. The wire's not long enough to get to the throttle, but that's fine. I'll mount it right there and it'll be good to go. And then I'm going to use my adjustable hammer to tighten these nuts down. should be on there good enough. Alrighty, let's fire this thing up and give it a round 2 try. I think that this is going to work out just fine. I'm going to adjust the zoom so y'all can see what I'm doing over here. So it's working. I'm gonna have to tighten up the U-bolts that are on there, but I'm gonna do that and then finish tilling up this front area, and I'll catch you guys back once that's done for the next step. Oh guys, so you can see I've made a good bit of progress. I've got to move the Jeep out of the way so I can get over there. But unfortunately, looks like we're about to get hammered with some rain. So I'm going to call this quits tonight, and I'll pick it up tomorrow and finish it up, and then we'll drag it all with the nail drag. Alright, so this is the end of day 2 tilling. As you can see, this side of the yard is completely tilled up. And then I finished most of this side yesterday, but had a storm come through, so there was a little bit left. But as you can see, that's all tilled up now. So tomorrow, I doubt it's going to be in this video. Honestly, it's getting late in the week, and I've got to get this footage to my wife so she can edit it. But next step is I'm going to take my nail drag and drag this all out and get it nice and smooth. And then we'll start pre-germinating the seed. And that should take about a week. we've been getting pretty consistent rain here, so if it rains at all and anything pops up, it still gives me a little bit of time to spray with glyphosate before I put the seed down, because I can spray with glyphosate and then seed immediately after that. There's no residual effects from glyphosate. So yeah, pretty happy with how this turned out. It took quite a long time to get it to this point, but I think it will be worth it when it comes to the end result. So cool. Well, I'll catch you guys on the next part. So guys, after dragging for a little while, this is where we're at. There's still some improvements to be made down in my swale here. It's not got a smooth enough transition. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to handle that. I may pick up some sand and smooth it out, because this is all going to get real mowed with that project that you're going to see in an upcoming video. But yeah, that's where we're at. The swale is my problem area. I have not done the other side of the driveway yet. I might set up and film for that, I'm not sure yet. But all I'm doing is I've got the nail drag, and then instead of having nails in the back too, I put just a 2x4 to help smooth everything out. So yeah guys, this might be the last part of this video. If it is, I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, because that helps the channel grow and helps me do more of this fun stuff. Thanks.